Today you can come to Ireland and live for 4 years with a visa that allows you to bring your dependent and also allows your dependent to start working immediately. And that visa is what I'm going to introduce to you today. And the beautiful thing is that if you live in Ireland for 2 years, you will be able to have your permanent residency. But then, one good news is that Ireland is a country with strong economy. It has strong good healthcare facility, strong education facility, safe, and a whole lot of benefit about living in Ireland. So today, guys, if you think that you want to live in Ireland, then you go with me as I take you through this simple process that could land you in Ireland within a few months. So yeah, I'm going to be telling you about the critical skill employment visa, or the critical skill employment permit that allows you to stay in Ireland for good 4 years and work freely. And after 2 years, you would be able to sign in a permanent residency. One thing you should know about this visa is that if you come with this critical skill employment permit, you will need to work for your employer for at least 9 months before you change. There is only one condition where this changes, and that condition is that there are some changes which you didn't envisage, probably because your employer loses his, his permit as someone who could sponsor you, or because there are some other circumstances that are legally considered good enough to allow you to change your employer. Apart from that, you must work for your employer for at least for 9 months without changing. However, the first visa that would allow your employer to bring you should be at least 2 years. Yeah, the visa has to be at least active for 2 years for you, or should be valid for 2 years for you to be considered and given this visa. Now we'll take you through a whole lot of information ranging from eligibility criteria, what they expect from you, the benefits, and a whole lot of other information. So guys, stay tuned with me as we go through this video. Guys, if you are new to my channel, please do not forget to subscribe. And already if you are subscribed, do not forget to like this video and share to your links. And I would like you to comment where you're watching from, because I would like to know exactly where you're viewing this video from. So guys, let me take you through more details in this video. Now, like I said earlier on, this is critical skill employment permit. This replaced the green card, which was originally in Ireland, but with some more reformed values that allows you. So if you are in occupation like ICT, engineering, technology, this is in the forefront of the list. But if you're in some occupation like engineering managers and some kind of managerial or marketing skills, you might be in the second phase of the list. So there are lists that would allow you to come to Ireland if you earn about 38,000, but there are some occupations that you will need to earn about 4,000 to come to Ireland. So those are all what I will take you through. Wherever you fall in, then you have to go for it. So let's go through this and see more information. Now I will tell you why the critical skill employment permit is very attractive. There are benefits that you would really not want to miss. Yeah, number one is because the skills are identified as being in short supply, so a labor market need assessment or need test is not required. So you wouldn't need to go through a labor market need test. And again is that once you have done 2 years, you will be able to file in to become a permanent residency. And another beautiful thing is that immediately you're applying, you will be able to apply with your family. So which means it allows family reunification from the very first that you can actually go to Immigration Service Delivery, ISD, to apply with your family and move to Ireland with your family without any stress. Okay, so and your family is able to, or your dependent or your partner, they're able to get an employment permit at once. Okay, and permit holders may also apply to the Irish Naturalization and Immigration Service of permission to reside and work without the requirement for an employment permit upon completion of the critical skill employment permit duration. So you don't need to exit the country and you do not need to go through some kind of special application. You would be able to fit into the society as quick as possible. Okay, yeah, there is another phase of it, which is the general employment permit, and that would allow you also to come and work in Ireland for 2 years. So I would like to take some what everything here. They say the prospective employee or the employer can apply for the critical skill employment permit. The employer permit will issue to the prospective employee a certified copy with issue to the employer. The permit allows the prospective employer to be employed in the state by the named employer and in the occupation and locations specified in your permit in support of the objective of the critical skill employment permit and its generous ancillary benefits. They are only issued in respect of a job offer and is at least a minimum of 2 years duration for job offer of less than 2 years. A general employment permit may also be applied for that. I will also tell you how it works because it is totally different from the critical skill permit. For the general skill permit, it replaces the old work permit employment permit. General employment permit are the primary vehicle used by the state to attract third country nationals for occupation which are experiencing a labor skill shortage. For these guys, their requirement is also different, and it lasts at least you need to have 12 months in your contract, and your salary scale is lower than the critical skill permit. So you might want to go through this in detail, and I'll try to share a link that will be helpful to you. For these guys, they need to get at least 30,000 as their remuneration. Otherwise, if it is hourly, it should be at least 14,779, which is lower than the critical skill permit of 38,000, which still looks better. At the point, the critical skill permit was raised to 43,000, and later on they brought it back to ensure that people are being accommodated. So that is about the general employment permit, but the critical skill permit, I think, has more benefit because you'll be able to move immediately with your family and all of that. So for you to be able to pull out, it has to be that the hold is made redundant or circumstance which are unforeseen arises that fundamentally changes the employment relationship. Otherwise, you have to work with the employer for at least 9 months. Now let's look at the criteria for employment. The criteria for employment, there are a few criteria that will help you to be eligible for this very visa. One of it is to be employed. In the first place, let me talk about this. You have to be within the occupation which pays a minimum annual remuneration of that 8,000 euros, for a restricted number of strategic, important occupation, which I will be sharing the occupation list to you. I'll be, mentioning some of them. And in the case of nurse or midwife, a third level degree or diploma accepted by the Nursing and Midwifery Board of Ireland as a sufficient qualification for registration to practice as a nurse or midwife in the state. All occupation with a minimum annual remuneration of over 64,000, other than those on the eligible list of occupation for employment permit, would also be able to register. So if for any reason it is not listed in the critical skill and you have a salary of up to 64,000 but they are not eligible, then you would be able to also participate. And the prospective employer consigned must have secured at least a 2 years job offer in respective of the eligible occupation for the prospective employer. So if you don't have at least 2 years contract, you're not gonna go through this. And there are further criteria which I would like to mention to you. Those criteria are also going to be considered while granting and approving your employment permit. So you should ensure that you have these criteria to be able to participate in this program. One of them is that the prospective employee consigned must possess the relevant qualification, skill, and experience that are required for the employment. An employment permit will not be granted to companies unless 50% of more than the employees in the firm are European Union citizens or nationals. Otherwise, it will not be granted. So this is very important and you need to know. However, this restriction may be waived in respect of startup companies within 2 years. But if your old company is not going to be waived, it is very critical and you must ensure that at least 50% are European Union nationals. The full details of what is required are set out on the application form. However, they include the full description of the proposed employment, starting date, annual remuneration excluding bonuses, and information in respect of the qualification, skill, or experience required for the employment. Okay, now the remuneration criteria is very important. You need to look at this. Of course, I've told you it's threshold of 38,000 or 64,000 euros. Okay, for critical skill employment, either you are listed or you are not listed. If you're not listed, it has to be 64,000 euros. Okay, now the basic salary are achieved at least national minimum wage or a rate of pay fixed under the portion of any enactment as the first component of the remuneration package, and a health insurance. Okay, so there must be a valid health insurance for you to be able to get through this process. So that is part of the remuneration criteria. If it doesn't contain this, then they won't be considering it as being eligible to be approved. Okay, then the application process is not quite difficult, well, the application process for an employment permit must be received at least 12 weeks before the starting date of your employment. So if it's less than 12 weeks, you may need to update your employment letter and now apply. Okay, this is very important to give them the processing time. An application for critical skill employment permit can be made on employment permit online, so you could actually go online. Okay, but before you start your application, please, you need to check out the critical skill employment permit checklist. So that checklist gives you the opportunity to see if there is something you're missing. There are up to 3 stages in your application process, and one of them is application is received or and awaiting processing, and the next is processing stage, and the last is review. Then you have the fees. The fees is 1,000 euro, for critical skill employment permit. And if an application is unsuccessful, then 90% of the fee is being refunded, while the fee may also be paid by a third party. Current policy restrict refund to applicants only. Okay, so it depends on who pays the fee. So there are more things you may need to know about this process, like residency, renewals, change of circumstance, and all of that. So I won't be going to take all of this, but this is the simple process how you can achieve this. Then the critical skill list, I will tell you, like engineering, technology, and healthcare is in the forefront, and you can see things like production. For critical skill employment, I think I would need to check it out if I'm giving you the right list, so that I don't give you list for general skills. So for critical skill, you're gonna be seeing production managers and directors, ICT professionals, health and science service managers and directors, managers of properties in agriculture related service, natural and social science professional, engineering professional like civil engineers, mechanical engineer, electrical engineer, electronics engineers specializing in chips design, processing automation, power and generation related and relevant specialists, design and development engineers specializing also. I won't go through all of that. Production and process engineer, will drop the skill list for you. Okay, material scientists, then also information technology and telecommunication professionals, health professionals like medical practitioners, psychologists, industrial pharmacists or pharmacists, radiographers, then audiologists and all of those kind of professionals, therapy professionals, nursing and midwifery, teaching and educational professionals, business, research and administrative professionals, architects, town planners and surveyors, welfare professionals, quality and regulatory professionals, media professionals, drugmanship person and relevant and architectures, technicians, health associate professionals, arthritis, libraries and media occupation, design occupation, sports and fitness, and a few other ones like business, finance and related associate, and sales, marketing and related associate professionals. So these are the skills that are being relevant. So guys, if you think you have these skills, then you can go for this, and you will be able to have a 4 years visa, which within 2 years you can get a permanent residency, and really do not need to be stuck with these very employers. But be aware that you have to work for at least 9 months with an employer unless there is change in circumstance. Guys, this is it about critical skill occupation and how you can go to Ireland. So guys, I wish you the best of luck, and I hope to see you in my next video. Don't forget to like. Thank you.